Good morning. Even though I was 4.5 hours in bed last night, I think I only got about 2 hours of sleep. There's just too much excitement. Today's title is 2012, Winning Freedom from Criminal Oppression. Wow, I am feeling excited and tired. Yesterday and yesterday, in fact, this entire past week has been filled with good news. Some of the news did not seem so good at first, yet I keep learning that there is wisdom in looking and seeing beneath the surface of what seems to be happening. On the surface, it may look like confusion and even more of the same old, same old. But what is happening is very different indeed. We, the people, the 99+%, are waking up and winning our freedom from lifetimes of criminal oppression. Listen as I share some of the good news. Indeed, yesterday I actually went to the Mystics in Training class where we are doing the power. What is it? No, it's not the power. Now it's one of the same author. Anyway, we're doing a new book from the one that we had finished when I stopped going. It was the first time I had been in the class since February the 9th, and it was really excited to get out of the house and attend one of the meetings that I used to attend every week. And that was really, really good. And what brought me to that place I'll share in a little bit. But indeed, some of the things that happened beginning last Friday did not seem so exciting as one of my children, and affecting that entire family happened, which I will go into more detail on in the future. But even that will ultimately show that it will work out, because I'm learning that even when things appear not so good, there can be a good outcome as we remember where to look, where to put our focus, and how to respond to some of these things that occur in our lives. Tut's message today is persistent thought is your ticket. Persistent gratitude makes it easy. And persistent action, Ron, tells one and all, there ain't no way, honey, I'm settling for less. I notice these things, the universe. Indeed, for many years, I have been persistent in my action of attempting to re-establish what it means to be free, to re-establish sovereignty, if you will, personal sovereignty in a world that has become a virtual prison planet, where the government and the corporations and the banks and the powers that used to be have been our oppressors. But the real oppressor, and I want everyone to hear this clearly, the real oppressor in all of this is not them. It's our own ignorance. My own ignorance produced most, if not all, of the problems that I've encountered in my life. My own ignorance of forgetting who I am and not remembering that I am eternal and infinite, that I am without birth and death, that those are merely parts of a much greater journey of my infinite being. Call it soul, whatever you wish to call it. But my infinite being, that part of me that has always been connected to the Creator, to Great Spirit, to Mother, Father, God, always been loved. always been accepted unconditionally with divine grace to experience whatever I needed and chose to experience, even when it was my own ignorance. Even then. But there was good news this past week as I received from the court, or I should say from the lawyer, the attorney, that has been trying to steal my house for all of these many years. Those of you that have been listening know that on February the 15th, an attorney from this law firm misrepresented himself and bought my house for $100. And since that time, I have been pretty much staying put, traveling in that entire time maybe 300 miles altogether, until yesterday when I finally ventured out and went to a meeting that I used to go to on a regular basis. One of the key things, there's going to be a hearing before the court on May the 18th. And they enclosed in their documentation, they're trying to get my documentation stricken from the record. They have made a motion to strike my affidavits and strike some of the paperwork that I filed earlier this year, the writ of mandamus and the counterclaim and the negative averment. Some of this paperwork, they're trying to get it stricken from the record. And they are recognizing that as an objection to the auction, falsely so-called auction that took place on February the 15th, in which they allegedly bought my home. But the clerk of the court, because of the objection that I raised, because my persistent action, the clerk of the court, and I'm reading, the clerk of the court will not issue the certificate of title without a court order directing the clerk to do so. And then she says the objection is legally insufficient and must be stricken. She doesn't know anything, because since that has all happened, I have perfected my land patent on my property, which is like an allodial title, which gives me complete ownership of my land that the state can no longer touch. I am the on the record certified legal and lawful owner of my domain. This is my sanctuary, and they can't touch it, which is why I am now able to venture out again. I am no longer choosing to stay in and protect my home against unlawful seizure, which was threatened. And for more than 2 months, I stayed pretty much within the confines of my home, not venturing very far out. And the one occasion where I did, I actually hired somebody to stay and watch my home for me. Yesterday, I also spent 5 hours, and I still have 1 DVD to go, in the advanced freedom training from Fred and Nina Gutierrez, or I may not be pronouncing their name right at all, but what an enlightening seminar I'm getting on DVD. Folks, I'm telling you, by gaining knowledge, we are winning this war. Gaining knowledge of who we are, gaining knowledge of how the system has been operating, how we have lost our God-given rights to a system of criminality, to a Ponzi scheme, to a conspiracy that is so vast that it has encompassed the entire planet. And we're watching as that system falls apart and comes apart at the seams. There is no way, there is no way that they can take my home. No way. Under any color of law, not even color of law, because I continue, I did not ever, all the times that they attempted to take my home, I never stopped. I never stopped challenging them. I never, anything that they tried to do did not remain uncontested. Every step of the way, I have stood there in my power with what knowledge I had, and I stood for the truth. I stood in my sovereignty, the best I knew how. Did I make some mistakes along the way? Yes, I did. We all do. But I never quit, and I'm not quitting now. And we are taking back our natural rights and our heritage to live as free men and women, even on this planet that has become an apparent prison planet, but the very imprisonment, we're waking up to it. As long as circumstances remain tolerable, we have been very complacent and tolerated a lot of stuff, but it's gotten so bad. It got bad under George Bush. This 21st century, it started getting really bad, especially after 9/11 and the Patriot Act in the United States. But these things have been going on around the world. This tyranny has been going on around the world, but it started coming out in the open more and more and more. And under Obama, it's come out in the open even more. So that now the whole world is waking up. Since 2008, the whole world is beginning to wake up. Last year, we saw the Occupy movements and the movements in all around the Mediterranean region in northern Africa, the Middle East, southern Europe. I have a feeling that that's not finished. We're waking up. We're winning our freedom from the criminal oppression of the bankers, the governments, the corporations, the lawyers, the courts, everything that has stood against us in this matrix web of entanglements and conspiracies and misinformation and disinformation. We're waking up. And that wake up is changing the world. They cannot master the conspiracy against us when we get rid of our own ignorance and our own apathy and start standing up for the truth. Not going against the lie so much as standing in the truth. And we're doing it. And I'm feeling it. And after watching the second DVD last night just before I went to bed 5 minutes to 11. I was still wide awake at 1 o'clock. Wide awake at 1 o'clock. I didn't get out of bed this morning until about 3, just past 3, a little bit past 3:30. It wasn't 3:33, or I would have remembered. But it was past 3:30, just a little bit. Anyway, even with little sleep, I bounded down the hall and into the meditation room this morning. Excited. This feeling of excitement that finally, I'm getting enough knowledge to overcome my own ignorance and to make my stand even more powerful so that I can win. And every one of you can win. This Fred and Nina couple that do these seminars, I mean, they said, take our DVDs, copy them, give them out. We don't do this for money. We're giving our labor away. These are people after my own heart. I made the announcement Wednesday night, which I've made previous times, that everything I do for free. Do I accept donations? Yes. Do I expect them? Well, they come in handy sometimes. But no, I want you to be free. I want the whole world to be free. I even want the oppressors to be free of the need, of their perceived need to oppress others and to try to control others. I want the whole world to be free. I want that flame of freedom that burns, I know, in every human heart. Every human heart has that divine spark of life that cannot be extinguished. It is infinite and it is eternal. And it is who we really are. We are that spark. We are that light. We are that love. We are that life that goes on and on and on and has experience after experience, lifetime after lifetime. We are that. I am that. I am. I am all of this and more. I'm so excited, even with my tiredness. I'm so excited about the days and weeks that lie ahead of us as we shift into greater and greater understanding, knowledge, raise our frequencies, ascend to a higher level of awareness that changes the whole world. And the whole world is changing with us, or we are changing with it. Earth and the solar system and the very galaxy are vibrating with life as our oppression comes to an end. Watch as it happens. We have ringside seats. Let the shrills keep on criticizing and looking for the evil and the bad. I'm telling you, there's good even in that which appears not so good. I love you. I so appreciate those of you that listen and share regularly. I'm going to have a very busy weekend, so if I don't get to your emails and stuff like that, please understand why. I'm doing the workshop this weekend. I'll be excited to get back there after missing the last one. Namaste. Thank you so much, and bless you. Bless you.